Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a bundler that works well with NodeCG, ParcelJS. So in the previous video you saw us use just the standard folders, graphics, dashboard and extension that come normally with NodeCG. Now there's nothing wrong with using those that way, but you can quite quickly with larger bundles and larger setups get into a state where everything's a mess, especially in larger things like the AGDQ event, where they've got a lot of assets and a lot of things that are doing a lot of stuff all at once, and there's a lot of reuse of items around. So what they use are things called bundlers. Now don't get this confused with bundles for NodeCG. Bundles for NodeCG use a bundler for JavaScript. There are three that are mentioned on the NodeCG docs. These are Webpack, Rollup and Parcel. Now I'm not familiar with Rollup, but at some point I may get myself familiar with it. And Webpack is quite a complex setup, and we'll go into that in another video. But we're going to start off with Parcel. Now, ParcelJS is a fairly new bundler. They've actually got a new version coming out soon, but it's not out yet. But it's famous for zero config. That is, all you need to do is create the command line to run it, and that's it. What we're going to do today is take a standard bundle that's just been created using Yeoman, and take that and convert it to use Parcel. So let's get started. So first off, we're in our NodeCG instance, and we will need to change to our bundles directory as before. We'll need to create a new bundle, and we'll call this one Parcel Setup. Parcel Setup Bundle. There we go. So change into there, and then do yo NodeCG as before, as we did in our previous tutorial. For this, we're going to quickly skip through and set up everything as it lists. But obviously go through this and set things up as you need. I will be setting this to MIT as before, and I'll set things to use a folder. And that's it for the setup. Now I will open this up in our editor and we can start moving things around ready for Parcel. Right then, so now I've got my editor set up. I'm going to go back into the terminal, and we need two dependencies installed, only two. What we need is to run npm install -- save dev. So this saves them as development dependencies. You want Parcel Bundler, and you want npm run all. And these two are the magic combination that allow you to do the whole thing in one go. So we'll install those. And now those are all installed, go back into our editor, and then we're going to move a few files around first. So the first thing we're going to do is create a new folder. I'm going to call this src for source. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab our dashboard extension and graphics files, and we're just going to move them all into the src file. I'm just going to do refactor on this. My editor's fairly clever. So now we've got that. We've got our dashboard extension and graphics files in here as we need. And the next thing we need to do is to start setting up Parcel. For that, we need to open up our package.json, which has got a load of other configuration bits for this setup, and then scroll down to here where it's got the dev dependencies, and you can see here it's got the npm run all and Parcel builder, Parcel bundler even, as we used earlier. And we need to add a new bit here, and this is called scripts. So open quotes, scripts, close quotes, colon, and then a pair of squiggly brackets. For this first one, we will set up a watcher for our extension. So first off, we will create a watch, extension. And for this is the command that we'd need to run for this, which is Parcel watch. And for the extension itself, we want it to watch the index.js file and all its related files. So we put in the path to that, which is source extension / index.js. We want to set the output directory to extension, because this needs to be the same as it was before we moved everything. And then we need to change our target here to node. And what that means is it will create an output that is for consumption by a Node.js module. And this means that NodeCG itself can actually pull it in. Now we need to do similar for our dashboard and extensions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the extensions bit, paste in a new one, and then quickly change this to be dashboard. So now we have a watch dashboard. And for that, we want to watch the source dashboard folder, But what we want it to do is we want it to watch every single file in there that ends with HTML. So it ends with .html. So the double star here means any possible combination, and then this means any file that ends with .html. And for the output directory, we want this to be sent to dashboard. Now we don't want target node because this is a web page normally. But what we do want is to set the public URL, and this is what NodeCG will render it as, otherwise it gets a bit confused when looking for the other parts of it. And for that we want to set bundles / in my case this is called Parcel setup bundle, and then / dashboard. And this sets the URL you need for that. Now we need to do it one more time, but this time is for the graphics. So copy dashboard, paste in a new bit, and then change where it says dashboard to where it's to say graphics. So watch : graphics, source / graphics, and then the last bit is also bundle / parcel setup bundle graphics. There we go. And that's created the 3 commands there. Now you could just use this, and then when you want to actually build your bundle or watch the things while you're developing it, then in the command line you can just run npm run watch : graphics in this case. And what that'll do is that will start the command that we wanted it to do, build the index it needs, and then this will sit here and wait for changes. So this will always sit there in the background. However, that's not brilliant, because at the moment this means you've got to have 3 windows open for each of the 3 watches. So what we're going to do is we're going to use npm run all, which we installed earlier, so we can run all of them. So Control-C to stop that, and then back into our package.json, and we're going to create a new one and just call it watch. And for this one we're going to run the script npm-run-all, and what we want to run is in parallel, so they all run at the same time or whenever they need to, all the watch commands. So watch : $. And what this will do is it will run the watch graphics, watch dashboard and watch extension bits in parallel as you need them. And when we go back into our terminal, we can run npm run watch, and you'll see what this will do is it started it up 3 times, and you will see that it will actually have done 3 builds in there. And if you go back here, then you'll see that dashboard and extension have appeared, but we haven't seen graphics. Now what that means is there's a mistake somewhere. So if we have a look in here, the one that hasn't appeared is graphics. And if you look along here, you'll see that I'm still putting the output in the dashboard directory. So we change that to graphics, go back to our terminal, and we'll have to restart that command. But now when we run npm run watch, it will build all 3 properly this time, and then we will have 3 folders. And in here you can see that I have made a mistake and they've got the panel.js there as well. So let's delete the panel. We don't need those. And that's it. Now we have the 3 bits coming out there. Now, when Parcel is running, it actually adds in a little bit of extra JavaScript that is actually talking to the pages so it knows when to reload. That's not very useful when Parcel's not running, so it'd be quite useful to just build the whole thing without needing that particular piece of JavaScript. So what we're going to do is we'll create a build command as well, which will do almost the same thing, but once instead of watching everything. So back in your package.json, we will copy all 4 commands, and then we'll change it from saying watch to say build. So I'm just going to quickly copy and paste this in. And then we also need to modify the npm run all command from running all the watch to running all the build commands. And then we also need to modify it from saying parcel watch to saying parcel build. And that's it. And assuming your watch command was working correctly, your build command should work correctly as well. So you come into here, you can stop that, and once you've done all your changes you need to do, you can run npm run build, and this will run all 3 of the commands at once. You can see it's outputting these files as you need, and then you're done. And from that you can then start your stream. You don't have to worry about having something else running in the background. This still works just the same with NodeCG now. So if we do NodeCG start and open up our workspace, you can see here's the panel from a default command, and here is our parcel setup bundles index. Nice and simple. From this, you can actually use anything you want. You can set up it to run React. You don't actually have to set up any extra bits and pieces. You can set it up to run with TypeScript, although I haven't done that myself. So if you'd like to see that as a tutorial on how to use TypeScript with ParcelJS bundler, then just let me know in the description below. But apart from that, if you have any questions, again, in the comments below, ask me anything. If you have any questions as well, join me in my Discord, which is also linked below. Or come find me on Twitch when I'm live during the weekdays at twitch.tv/tbsliver. Remember to also give this a like or subscribe if you really liked this. I appreciate it all. And I will catch you next time for more NodeCG instances. And I think next time we're looking at Webpack. How to do exactly the same thing using Webpack, which is more flexible but more complicated.